Guys, for full disclosure, I don't actually sound like this. I was recording this video at like 7 in the morning. My roommates were still asleep, so I was trying to be a good roommate and not like wake up the whole apartment because I couldn't sleep. Like, I'm not gonna make it everyone's problem. But that's not how I normally speak. If you go to my other videos, I usually am like a lot more loud but yeah, this is kind of like my toned down voice when I'm really controlling it. But yeah, felt like I should say that because that's very important to me. Also, another note from me. This is the first and last time I will be captioning a video. Guys, like, this video is like an hour long. I am slogging my way through it trying to caption this. And I still have to caption this video too, so, like, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to rely on auto captions after this. But enjoy!
Welcome back to my channel. Anyway, today's episode is going to be what I called my media challenge of 2024. So as someone who has really been affected by the TikTok Reels epidemic, my attention span is literally trash. Literally trash. It was so bad I couldn't sit through a 30-minute episode of a show, much less like a K-drama episode, which is like about an hour and a half. I could not sit through it. And honestly, it's still not even great. But I challenged myself last year. Yes, this is actually about last year. I'm doing it also again this year, but I just haven't gotten around to filming this. So here we are, almost like more than halfway through 2025, filming this for 2024. But basically, this challenge I gave myself was to consume as much new media as possible, whether that be movies, shows, books. I'm not going to count music because that I've always been pretty good about finding new music. I also wanted to do this because something I struggle with is like rewatching, and I love a good rewatch, but it was getting to a concerning point. So I really wanted to challenge myself to find new media and just consume that instead of going back to things that I already have seen and know exactly what's going to happen. That was kind of the whole purpose of this challenge. For like full transparency, I already filmed this, but I kind of woke up this morning and thought about it because I've been editing it for the longest freaking time, and the excuse I've been giving myself is that like, oh, as long as you're working on it, it's fine. But honestly, I kind of hate it. I kind of filmed that first one, I didn't really think much of it, I just went straight into it. So it's been a little rough watching it back. I was also like deep in the throes of an eczema flare-up, so it's really just like not great overall. So it's like, it's 7 a.m. I decided this morning at like 5:30 that I was like, okay, I'm gonna redo this because I can't stand the old version. So here's to not settling for bad versions, and redoing it is okay. Doing it a second time is okay. That's a message for me, my future self. But I have every single show, so I have a show notes app and I have a books notes app. My goal was to read 1 book a month. We didn't exactly make it, but we read a lot. So I'm going to go through all of them. It would take forever if I went and I talked about every single one, and I would be lying if I said I remembered every single one. So I'm going to just highlight specifically the ones that I think really had an impact on me, whether that's good or bad. If I just list it, it was just like chill, it was okay, nothing special, nothing crazy. But yeah, that's my little disclaimer for this. So without any further rambling, let's get on into it. Before we continue, I want to show my earrings. My friend got me these from the Philippines and I absolutely adore them. They're so cute. I love the pearls and I love the butterfly. I think it's also, it's not made of pearl, but it's like a white material. I don't know, but it's really cute and I really love wearing these. The only problem is I have second piercings and my ear is pretty small, so whenever I wear these, I can't really wear my second. I can't wear anything in my second piercing because it's covered by the butterfly. So that's the only downside, but that's fine. So first, we're gonna start off in January. I watched Death's Game. We started off really strong because this was a K-drama that I was looking forward to for a very, very long time. It has one of my favorite actors in it, So In-guk, and I watched this with my mom, and I was just like in shambles. Like from episode 3 till the end, I would just like cry every episode because the premise of this is that I think a guy kills himself and he is kind of taken into Death's game, and he is sent into like a new body, and he has to try not to die because they want him to like learn the meaning and the weight of like life, and that it shouldn't be taken away so easily. So this really tore me up because every time he would go into a new life, I would just be like, oh my gosh, is he finally not gonna die? And then when he would die, it would just be so like devastating the way he died. But I think it was really good. It was a really good K-drama. Definitely wished it was longer, but I was happy with the way it ended. So next I watched is A Very Good Girl. It's just a Filipino movie. I enjoyed it, but like nothing crazy. Next was Confidential Assignment, which I watched on a plane, and for some reason I only watched the Confidential Assignment movies on a plane. But I was on my way to Brazil and I watched this, and I think this is the one with Hyun Bin, which he's from Crash Landing on You, and that was like one of my all-time favorite K-dramas. It's like the one I will rewatch every single year. One of the ones I watch every single year, but I really enjoyed this movie. It was super silly. Super silly. So if you're looking for a super silly movie, it was this one. Next I watched Anyone But You. Now I will talk about this one because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I've watched it 3 times. I don't watch it anymore, but when I first watched it I was super into it. It's like bring back the rom-com. The people yearn for a rom-com. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, at the time I was really like on a Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell kick, so I was watching everything that they were in. Can't say the same for now, but like back then that was what I was really into. So it's basically like enemies to lovers. They like meet, I think they hooked up, but then she thought she overheard him talking crap about her to his friend, so she like hated him. And then they find out that like 2 people that they know, I think it's her sister and his friend, are getting married, and so they end up at the wedding together, and then it's just a whole bunch of things, and I think it's set in Australia. Yeah, the ending is really cute. I love this movie. Rekindled my love for a rom-com. I just think we haven't had a good one since then. Or no, we hadn't had a good one, and then that one came out, and I was like, okay, I'm gagged. Next I watched School of Rock. I think it's a classic. Someone told me to watch it. We watched it. Didn't like it. Role play. I don't remember it, so it can't have been something super crazy, but yeah. Next one I watched was a K-drama called Gyeongsang Creature. Once again, had some of my favorite actors in it. I really enjoyed it. So it's set in, I think it's either late 1800s, early 1900s, Joseon era Korea. Joseon era Korea. Is that even correct? Like it's set in that time frame. I think Japanese occupation is currently happening, and there's like this creature that these scientists, Japanese scientists, have made like in a, I think it's deep in a hospital, and it's getting out, and yeah, it's pretty good. There's not a huge like heavy romance aspect because the female lead is kind of like, I don't know if she was an assassin or like a spy, but like it was really good. There were just like hints and bits and little like glances and tension, and that was honestly enough for me. I love a tension moment in that way, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and they actually made a season 2, and I think that makes an appearance later on this list. I will say, I think season 1 can't be beat. It was just too good, and if they had ended it there, I would have been happy, honestly. But last thing I watched in January was Mean Girls. I honestly watched Mean Girls just because it was like Mean Girls. But like, I did listen to a couple of songs for a couple of months, like unironically in my car, so that puts everything into perspective. But it's just like Mean Girls. I will say the original is better. Nothing is gonna outdo that, in my opinion. So, okay, on to the book I read for January. I read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Now, the books are gonna be a bit tough because I have personally just been like reading more in general. Books and fan fiction, like I just have been reading more, so the books are not as like stand out in my head. But Book Lovers was so good. I remember I gave it like seriously 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was just, oh wait, it was really good. I think it was also set in like a town in North Carolina, so that was what like originally drew me in. And it's, I think it's enemies to lovers. It's not really rivals, but they're both like book publisher agents. They're in the publishing industry, and it's just super cute. Ugh. Charlie, please. So good. I highly recommend Book Lovers. I've kind of been on an Emily Henry kick. I honestly bought her newest book. I think it's a Great Big Beautiful Life. I still haven't read it. Sorry, Emily. But it's on my to-read list. I just keep getting caught. That's on my read list. Definitely recommend Book Lovers. Moving on to February. I didn't watch a ton in February, but we're going to start with this K-drama. It's called Welcome to Sundalri. I don't think I knew the female lead before watching this, and the male lead I never found particularly compelling, but for some reason when I watched them two together, I was set. The male lead and the female lead were childhood friends to lovers, broke up lovers again. It's like a reunited, like, lover's second chance type K-drama, and I adore it. I eat it up. I never rewatch it. Even when I do my little thing of like watching my favorite clips, I never rewatch this one for some reason. I think it's because I think those two actors, while they're great, I still don't think they're in my like favorites. I will say I think you should watch this K-drama, especially if you eat up a second chance romance. Female lead is like very career driven, and I think she gets in like a scandal, and that's why it drives her back to her hometown, which she left like a really long time ago. So there's a bunch of people there that she just does not want to see. She does not want to be seen. She doesn't want to explain why she's back in her hometown, and honestly I felt that low key. Like a lot of times I just don't want to run to people in my hometown. I just want to like go home, visit family, and like that's what I'm there for. So I get that in that aspect, but I think that it's really good, and she just like learns to love it again and balance like her professional career and ambitions with like, yeah, the people of her hometown. It's sweet. It's really sweet. Next I watch Madam Web. Don't know why I watch this. I have the AMC A-list subscription. Oh, that is a disclaimer. There's a reason why I got to watch a lot of movies. It's because I have the A-list subscription. I went to watch Madam Web partially because everyone said it was really bad, and I was curious to see if it was actually bad. It was not great. It was not great. Like, I made it through the whole movie, but there were no, like, I feel like for me, nothing really compelling, nothing really stand out in my head. It's just a movie. Last thing I watched for February, this is actually more compelling than Madam. It was upgraded. It was the Camila Mendes movie. It felt a little fanfiction-y, like when I read the plot, or like the summary about it, but then when I watched it, I really liked it. So basically this woman, I think she's like a personal assistant for like a museum curator. Is that correct? But she basically gets upgraded to first class and meets a guy there, and there's like a whole set of events that unfold. But she's like incredibly competent at her job, and I just really enjoyed that movie. It was fun. It was actually quite fresh. I thought it was just going to be like a basic rom-com, but I really enjoyed it. It's on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. It's really good. And then for my book for February, I read The Apology. Now, the first time I filmed this, I definitely had to look it up, but it's kind of like an intergenerational Korean novel. It is not written in Korean, but the main characters are in Korean. That's important. I don't read Korean. I do, but I don't know what's going on. It's like one of those things where you like try and learn Korean, you read the alphabet, you figure it out, and you don't know what the words are saying. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's great. At least for me, it got very confusing at times. It was multiple point of views, I think, and there were times you were like in the spirit world because it would go back a few generations that like had already passed, and it was very confusing to me. I'm sure I'm missing some depth that was like required for that novel, but I would give it like 2.5 out of 5. Honestly, would not recommend, but like, don't let me stop you. Moving on to March, I also did not watch a lot in March. What? Oh, I think I was like really going through it at work. But first thing I watched was Tale of the Nine-Tailed, which is a K-drama with one of my favorite actors. It's Lee Dong-wook from Goblin. That's where I originally saw him, and he's just like been a key actor. I just like love him, anything he's in. I have tried to watch this K-drama I think twice, and I just never finished it. And this time I was like, I have got to finish this because it's getting kind of pathetic at this point. So I finished it. I really enjoyed it. He's basically an eternal nine-tailed fox, and I think he was like cursed or something because he lost his like first love, something like that. It's been a long time, guys, but it's also a really popular K-drama. I'm sure if you're into K-dramas, you've probably heard of this. Need I go further? It's pretty good. Watch it. But I also don't like rewatch this. I feel like I just contradicted myself, but I don't know how. Maybe I just said watch too many times, but it's fine. And the last thing for March was Immaculate. Like I said, was on a Sydney Sweeney Glenn Powell kick. So I was watching Immaculate, and I convinced people to watch it with me. Why did I get more scared than them? Like after that, I like didn't want to be alone, so I had to go to a friend's house for like a couple hours and watch the basketball game, because I was just like, oh my god. Like it wasn't even super scary. I think just like horror movies with like strong religious themes really make me feel a little terrified. It was also really bloody. Don't know how I felt about that. Yeah, I would watch it. Don't watch it alone. Okay, book I read for March was First Sly Wins. Don't remember too much about this. I think this actually showed up as an Instagram ad. Spoiler, a lot of my book racks end up being like sent to me through via Instagram ad, and like they clock me every time. But First Sly Wins, I'm pretty sure the female lead, she was lying about her whole identity. I think she assumed a different identity, and she was like fully set to marry this man, and then she found out he was lying about stuff, I think. Then it turns out she was lying about stuff. There was a huge plot twist, but it was crazy because they were just both lying. But while they were lying, they both actually genuinely cared for each other, which was such an interesting dynamic to see play out. I would definitely recommend that. I don't remember all the details, but I would give it a strong like 4 out of 5. So definitely recommend that. It's quite unfortunate that I'm already at 2 bars considering none of my other batteries are fully charged yet. So this will be fun to see how far we can go. But moving on to April, I started off strong. Okay, for like a thing about me, I love a concert movie. I will eat a concert movie gladly. So I watched the Suga concert movie because I couldn't go in person. And fun fact, my friend was like, actually she almost got tickets to go, but she was like, it's this or the Eras tour, and I was like, damn girl, your choices are great. But I watched this, I loved it. I adore Suga, I love his music. I would say his solo music is probably my favorite out of anyone in BTS. I love his solo music. It's just honestly my favorite. I'm pretty sure, was it D2? It was his second album. That got me through COVID, So love his music. I was super excited to see the concert movie. I loved it, adored it, and I want to see him in person. Don't know when that'll be, but I hope hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Next was a K-drama called Dr. Slump. The male lead is one of my favorite actors again. It's Park Hyung-sik. I can't remember I saw him from Strong Woman Do Bong Soon, which is like one of the first K-dramas I watched, so he's always been like stuck in my head. Female lead was Park Shin-hee. I don't love her, but she was great in this role. So it's basically they were like childhood rivals, like students, they were rivals. Both became famous doctors, and at the same time they both had their own slumps. So the guy is a plastic surgeon, and he gets into like a scandal, like he gets tricked essentially, and people think he did some like shady practice stuff. So he is like suffering career fallout. She is like suffering crazy burnout. Like she's getting overworked at her hospital. Nobody gives a shit about her. They're just overworking her, and it's just like taking a toll on her. And so they both kind of like find each other, and at first they're like, they don't want to show weaknesses because they were rivals, right? But then it ends up like, you know, I love that K-drama. It was so good. I don't know why I don't rewatch it. I should, but it's really, really good. I highly recommend it. I was sad for this one. It was really, really awesome. Next I watched The Beast. Oh, once again, The Beast was one of those movies that I decided, oh yeah, I have free will. Let me go pick a random movie at AMC. And the female lead was, I remembered her from Mission Impossible. And so I was like, oh, let's check it out. Let's see. It was really weird. Also, it was fully in French, which I don't have a problem with because I love a subtitle. But I didn't even know it was in French until I got there, and I was like, whoa, that's French. It was very confusing. They were like jumping between, I think, so it was like set in the future where, you know, I don't even really know what's going on, but they were definitely jumping between this woman's like past lives, and it was like she was in old time France at one point, and then there were just a lot of things going on. I would recommend just looking it up if you want to know what I'm talking about. It was a lot. I don't know if I just missed things also partially because of the language barrier. Maybe I'm like too focused on that. Too focused on what? On reading the subtitle? Like, I don't know. But I didn't care for it. It wasn't like my favorite thing. And then last for April, I watched Challengers. Yes, you probably know what Challengers is. I love Challengers. I originally wanted to do the thing where you rewatch it, but you focus on a different character each rewatch. Still haven't gotten around to that, but it was really good. If you haven't watched it, would recommend it, but you probably have watched it because this is like really late. Anyways, moving on to my book for April, I read Valley Verified. Pretty sure this was about a woman who was working in tech and No, she was writing for a fashion magazine. She really loves fashion, and she decides to pivot and go to tech and work in Silicon Valley and like navigating that and its challenges. Did not love it. Like, I read it, I finished it, it was like good. Didn't love it. I would give it a solid 3. Moving back to shows, we're almost halfway through the year, guys. Wow, this is crazy. So we're gonna go to May. I started strong with The Idea of You, which is that Harry Styles fan fiction turned into a movie with Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine. Didn't think I would like it because it's like based off fan fiction. But then I forgot. I'm a girl who likes fan fiction. So like, of course I liked it. I ate it up. I still listen to Closer in my car to this day. Not often, but to this day. It's really good. I feel like it could have been weird with like the age gap, it was played well in a way that wasn't like cringy or overdone. It felt actually cute, like I was actually rooting for them. So I would recommend that. That is on Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime has honestly been putting out some good rom-coms lately. Or back then, in 2024, they were putting out some good stuff. So I would recommend that. Then I watched Haikyuu. I played volleyball and was never into anime. But then I was told to watch Haikyuu, and I gave it a shot, and I almost gave up, because the first like 3-4 episodes were so boring. I was like, holy crap, I'm not gonna make it through if they're like this. And then now I'm like obsessed. It's so good. I would say if I had to pick my favorite characters, I love Oikawa. He's a little bratty, but I love him, and he's really talented. He deserved more hype, in my opinion. Also, everyone paints him as a villain. There are actual villains that he's being compared to, and I'm like, sorry, he was good at volleyball, like, guys. And then I like Kuru, because Kuru's hot, but whatever. Moving on. Next I watched Mother of the Bride. Still don't remember what it was. I think it was on Netflix. That does everything. And then last I saw the TV Glow. My friends booked that movie, and I just was like, I don't have anything else to do, so yeah, I'll watch it. So I didn't know anything about it going in. So for the full movie, I was very confused. And then when we were talking about it after the movie, things started to click. And I was like, oh, well, in the context of that. And it was a really good movie. I just heard a kid yell. It's like 7:30 and I forgot kids have school already. And then for May, the book I read was Born a Crime, which is Trevor Noah's autobiography. I adore everything that Trevor Noah puts out. I love his comedy specials. I was listening to his podcast. I kind of dropped off, but I might pop back on at that. His autobiography was so good, so well written, so humorous. I loved it. It was so cool to like learn about how he grew up in South Africa and like how those experiences shaped who he is as a comedian, but also just like as a person in general. So good. So good. The way I read books is like I either take forever to read them or I read it in like 1, 2, 3 days flat because I can't put it down, and this was one of those. And I think before this book, the last time that happened was when I read Jeanette McCurdy's autobiography, which was like I'm glad my mom died, and I love that one too. So I think maybe I just have a thing for autobiographies, honestly, but it was really good. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a fan. Like, you need to read this. If you just watch his comedy specials, that's great, but like you need to read this. Going to June, like really fast, we're gonna go through June. I watched Queen of Tears, which I loved it. It's like about this, I think they call it like a chaebol, like heiress. She's like the main lead, and then she's married to this lawyer. They're like on the brink of divorce, right? Like this guy, he wants a divorce from her bad, but he doesn't know she's dying, because of course she doesn't tell him. Their communication skills are like really bad. But I think he finds out she's dying, and so he decides, oh, I'm not going to divorce her, because when she eventually dies, I'll just like, I'll be free, and also get like probably half her assets. So basically that's the plot. But then they end up falling in love with each other again, and then the big point is like, oh my god, she's still gonna die. Like, you guys fell in love with each other again. But there's like a whole subplot there too. Actually, it's the main plot, but I consider it the subplot because the romance in this was my main plot. But yeah, she's still gonna die. So that's really interesting to see how that gets panned out. But I highly recommend it. It was such a good K-drama. I remember I was like sat for it every week. Like, I would look forward to the new episodes that would drop. So definitely recommend watching that. Next, Solo Leveling, another anime. There's a joke that the main character, his name is Sung Jin Woo, he just like aura farms all the time, but it's true. Like, he's hot, so it's fine. But it's really good. It's basically about, we live in a world where like there are hunters who like, and you're like ranked by how powerful you are, and so he is like, he actually goes into this like dungeon, but he's like he's like the least powerful out of every single hunter known to man. And he gets sucked into this dungeon, and they're like about to die because it turns out it was actually like way higher ranked than advertised, and nobody knew that. And then he kind of like figures it out, but he dies. But when he thinks he's dead, when he wakes up, he finds out he's like low-key been sucked into this like video game with like screens only he can see, and he can keep leveling up, which is honestly kind of unheard of among the hunters. And he becomes so powerful, like he's so cracked, so overpowered. It's so good. Yeah, I also watched season 2. I think that's later on in this, but season 1 is so good. Unmatched. He does Oral Farm. I don't care. I really don't. It's a really good one. Next, I watched Bridgerton season 3, and it's funny because I never finished season 1. I finished season 2. Loved it. It's still my favorite Bridgerton season, honestly. But season 3 was pretty good. I will not spoil it because you've probably already watched it. There's nothing to spoil. But I really enjoyed the Lady Whistledown reveal. I was always wondering how they were going to do that, and I really enjoyed the way they did it. So, and last for June, I watched Garfield the movie, and I watched this because I like cats. I like Garfield. Like, I'm not crazy about Garfield. I forgot it was a kid's movie, so it was of course very predictable. Also, I did have to leave like 10 minutes before it ended because I had low blood sugar and I almost passed out in the theater. So, but I kind of knew what everything, like I could predict what was gonna happen. It was very like formulaic, but it was a good easy watch. I wouldn't put it in on the background as like background noise, but it was fine. It was good. And then for the book I read for June, I read Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I just talked about this yesterday. Actually, this book made me so mad. I think it was basically about like, it was a white author. This is important. The race is important. A white author. She's struggling to get published. She sees like this girl that she knows. They're not friends. They're more like acquaintances, rivals to the main character. And she's Asian and she's getting published like crazy, and she's like crazy successful. And then she dies all of a sudden. And the white author goes to her apartment. I don't remember why she did, but she found like an unfinished manuscript, or like, was it unfinished or like most unfinished? And she decides, oh, that's okay, I'm gonna like take her work, finish it, and I'm gonna publish it under her name because that's what the Asian author would have wanted. Oh, that made me so mad. I was like, this is a novel of rage bait for me. It's not really rage bait. It's actually very profound, and I liked it. And I mean, not really profound, but it was very well written. I enjoyed it, but it did make me mad. I would give it like 4.5 out of 5 stars. It was honestly incredible. I do want to read more books by her. I think I saw also someone was reading The Poppy War yesterday, and that has been on my to-be read list. So, to-read list. So maybe I'll do that next. Gonna go to July, starting off with Despicable Me 4. I know I just talked about kids movies and like not really liking them, but Despicable Me is like one of those franchises that I will forever love and honestly eat up anything they put out. I love Despicable Me 4. I think they went into just like a production program because there was like a villain that was looking for Gru. But what really threw me off about this whole movie is that like Bob and Kevin were not there. They were new minions, and I know he has like 1 million minions, but like, where are Bob and Kevin? And was it Stuart? Stuart's like the third one. Or is it Dave? I don't know. There's like a certain few that I really just like remember their names. So that threw me off because I was like, where are my minions? But it was really good. Every Despicable Me movie is good to me, at least. So I would recommend you watch it. And I was like, watch the whole series. Next, I watched Exhuma. It's a Korean movie. The lead actress is Kim Go-eun, and I watched her also in Goblin, so I also kind of just like watch anything she's in. It was such a good movie. She is a Korean shaman, and oh god, I think they were like tasked with like trying to figure out why these people were dying. I can't remember exactly, but it was so good. Like, you just have to believe me. It was so, so good. It won a few awards in like, I think in Korea and internationally. So it was really awesome. I will say the end terrified me. I was like watching it through my fingers because I just like couldn't handle it. I have a very weak constitution for horror things. I used to be really like stone cold and like not afraid of anything horror. Like, I'd laugh at people who were afraid by the movie, and now I'm like one of those people. But it's really good. I would easily give that a 9 out of 10. It was such a good movie. Next, I watched Inside Out 2 with my mom, and I cried. You've probably like, it was such a big thing, so you've probably already watched it by now. I sobbed like a baby in that theater. I was just like, oh my gosh. Enough. Next, I watched Hijack 1971. That was another one of my like free will movies. It's a Korean movie. It takes place, I think, in the 70s, back before there was TSA or anything, where you could literally just walk into the airport and do whatever you wanted, essentially. This guy brings a gun onto the plane. I forgot exactly what his gripe was, but it's very thrilling. You're trying to like figure out, how are these people gonna escape when this guy has a gun? And I'm pretty sure he wanted to kill, like, actually I don't remember who he wanted to kill, but he wanted to kill someone. Why else would you bring a gun on a plane? I would say it was good. Wouldn't rewatch it, but it was a good free will movie. I'm gonna start calling them free will movies, like when I just go watch random ones. But next, I watched Longlegs, which is that horror movie with, is it Micah Monroe? Oh, I could be wrong about that. There's like, she looks like another actress, but I always get them mixed up. But it was so, so good. Longlegs was freaky as hell. But I loved how the main character, she's just smart. She was just like figuring out the ciphers, doing her thing. She was strong. I will say the ending, I don't know if she managed to free. I felt so bad because like her boss, he got like taken under the spell of like the evil thing, right? I don't know if if she managed to like free them, because I'm pretty sure he killed, like, he was under the spell. He killed his wife, and then he was gonna kill himself, I think. I don't know. But I will say, funny story, I had my brother watch it, so it was like my second time watching, and it was a snowy day. And you know, in Longlegs, they have that scene where they're like, they live out in the middle of nowhere and it's snowing, and it was kind of the same vibe, but it was getting dark. So I looked at my brother and I was like, hey, you better be careful. I might be outside waiting for you. I think he almost hit me. He was like, shut the fuck up. Like, why would you say that? But like, as an older sister, I kind of have to do it. Like, I have to do it. He has no choice. Anyways, next I watched Twisters, Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones. Beautiful. I didn't know it was a remake. When I mentioned it to my dad, he goes, oh, the one from 1970? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? This was a remake. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, one of those like movies where like people have probably already watched it, but I would recommend it. I do rewatch Twisters sometimes, but it's very, very sparse. I'm not really on my Glenn Powell kick anymore. Like, it kind of wore off after, I think, Hitman, which was also good, I think, on the list, but yeah. And then last for July, I watched Wolverine Deadpool. I didn't love it. I don't really love Deadpool. Sometimes it's just too much. Like, the first couple times it's funny, and then I start disliking him. I don't know. Also, his energy just reminds me of someone I don't like, so it's just overall just not a great combo for me. Moving on to my July book, I read 5 Star Summer. Did I say Summer? It's crazy. 5 Star Summer by Ellen Hilderbrand. Now, Ellen Hilderbrand is the one who writes the Nantucket series, and I really love that series. I love how it kind of jumps around from, like, each book features a different person or family or set of people, but like they're all interconnected and they come up in other books, and like you feel like you know these people, you feel like you're really integrated into the community. So I do love it. 5 Star Summer is about like this woman, I think she runs a really accomplished blog, and her husband dies and she's kind of like really thrown for a loop about it, and then she hears about the 5 Star Summer, which is where you invite, I think it's 5 friends from different parts of your life. So she has like a childhood best friend, a college best friend, and then she invites this woman that she just like recently got close with because like she's a fan of her blog, and they start talking, and then it's crazy because at the end it's revealed this woman was having an affair with her husband before he died. What? I was like, this is crazy. It was such a good book though. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it would be like actually really cool to have like that concept of a 5-star somewhere, but I just don't think I have had enough like time periods in my life to really do that. It would be like my one childhood best friend and then like 4 friends from college. So it's like kind of not fair, but I think I love the idea of that, honestly. Would recommend this book, would honestly recommend any of her books. They're such good reads, and I feel like they're always really well like fleshed out and thought out, and there's so much care put into each of her characters, so I would highly recommend it. I do remember when she announced that Swan Song would be her last like Nantucket book, and I was devastated, but also Swan Song was really good, so you should read that. Not like Ellen Hilderbrand glaze. Moving on to August. August was like a fun month for me because I also quit my job in August, so you'll notice that from August to the end of the year I watched a lot more things because I just had so much free time. Fun employment. Starting off August, I watched Trap, which is that movie about like the serial killer who they put a trap for at the Lady Raven concert. I had high hopes for it. I was really intrigued by the trailer. I will say I think it fell a little bit short, especially that ending. I don't know how I felt about it. I just didn't really care for the ending. I thought there would be more to it, and I never really truly felt scared. Maybe like once, but nothing like where I was like, oh my god. It wasn't great. I would give it like 3.5 out of 5, honestly, but it's a good watch. Then I watched Friends with Benefits. Oh yeah, which is like I think it's like the 2010s rom-com. That was like a random watch that I did on Netflix, and it was pretty good. It's exactly like what the title says. It's pretty good. Would recommend it. Then I watched Alien Romulus. I went on a double date and I watched this, and it was disgusting. I forgot. My parents were like fans of the Alien movies, so I definitely have seen them before. I think I just forgot how like slimy and gross it is. And like there was one scene where the girl got like, I think she was like pregnant, but then the alien like warped her child in a womb. And then she like exploded or something. It was gross, and I don't get grossed out by gory things usually. This was like another level. I was like, wow, y'all got me. But other than that, it was a good watch. I don't remember anything else. Next was Monkey Man. Oh my god, I love Monkey Man. Dev Patel absolutely slayed this role. So he is on like basically a revenge kick against the people who were trying to like tear up his village and eventually like killed his mother, which I was like, so valid, go for it, like you totally deserve this. And it was just so good. It was just such a good movie. He like is just such a strong fighter. He's good at everything. Honestly, I was rooting for him. Like, you will root for him, you will want him to like succeed, and I just honestly would recommend it. I think this was it on Peacock or was it on Paramount? It was on one of those two, but I would definitely watch it. I actually wanted to watch this while it was in theaters, but I just ran out of time. By the time I had time to go watch it, it was already done showing, and I was like devastated. So when I saw this showed up on streaming, I was super excited. Next I watched, I think this is pronounced The Child. It's like child with an E at the end, so I have like no idea actually what it's pronounced, but I was super excited for this movie, or was it a movie? No, I was super excited for this movie because the second lead from a K-drama I really liked, I think his name is Kim Son-ho. I was like super excited for this, but then he got into a scandal, which honestly was not his fault. I think that was like what they found out, but this got shelved for a little bit, so I totally forgot about it. And then my mom actually saw it, and she was like, oh, isn't that movie that we wanted to watch? And I was like, oh my god, yeah. And I remember I was also super interested in this because they were going to have an actor that was supposed to be like half Filipino, so I was super excited to see how that was going to pan out. And I think it had to do with boxing. I will say the movie itself is not like memorable to me, but I really like the actor that was in it, so that's why I watched it. But yeah, it's a good watch. I would recommend. The last thing I watched for August was Decibel. It's another one of those movies that I was super hyped for, forgot about, accidentally found, and was like elated. But it has two of my favorite actors in here. So there's Chan Woo, who everyone, I don't understand. I mean, in his like earlier roles, maybe like y'all are like, no, he's a bad actor, but you have to understand the role he's being given a lot of the time is like the cold, unaffected character. Like, guys, okay, maybe I'm just like a defender. I don't know. But then the other guy is Lee Jong-suk, which he's another one of those like actors that I just like love everything he's in. I've watched so many of his shows, and he's just all around like just good. He's good at his job, and that's so hard to find these days. No, I'm just kidding. But it was really good. It was also another revenge movie. So basically, they were on this boat, and it was like sinking, and only a few people could escape. So they drew straws, and those two actors were brothers. And Cha Eun-woo was the younger brother, and he didn't get a straw, so he had to die in that boat. And his older brother basically goes on like a revenge plot thing to avenge his younger brother's death. It was really, really good. Really good. I honestly thought it would have gotten more hype, especially in Korea, because they really love those two in Korea. I thought it would have gotten more hype, but it didn't, and I think it should. So you should watch it. I actually think it was on Tubi, which is like a free streaming service. I think it's at least free for me. I don't know how we have it, but it's really good. Would totally recommend. My book for August is Notebook. Yay! Because, once again, the throes of unemployment. I just was not in the mood for a book, I guess. Okay, moving on to September. This is where it gets, like, thick. This chunk, September. So we're going to try and speed through this. I'm going to combine the first two. So I watched JJK, which is Jujutsu Kaisen, an anime. Watch season 1, then you watch the movie, and then you watch season 2. I've heard so much about this, mainly because, you know, I'm like a BTS fan, so I'd refer to Jungkook as like, people would refer to him as like JJK, and then I find out they're not talking about him at all. It's just like this random anime that I've never even seen. But I'm obsessed with it, and like even though this whole challenge was like made for me to not like keep rewatching media I've already consumed, I do rewatch this a lot, like to a point where some people are like, hey, maybe watch something else. I don't listen to them. But it's basically about this guy named Yuji, who he like essentially gets approached by like this sorcerer. I don't know how to put it in quotes, but his name is like Megumi, and then he eats this cursed finger, and he essentially becomes like a sorcerer because he has this cursed finger's energy inside of him. And yeah, low-key, a lot of people want him to die, but he's Brazilian. He doesn't die yet, I think. But it's super popular. Like, if you're into anime, you've probably heard of it. I love Gojo. And I know what all of y'all are gonna say. You're gonna be like, oh, of course you do, of course you do. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Megan Thee Stallion loves Gojo. I don't care. Next, I watched Fall Guy. That was Ryan Gosling. He's like the favorite of all my Ryans. All my Ryans. He's my favorite of all the Ryans. Easily the one with the best filmography, in my opinion. Like, La La Land alone, get. But I love Ryan Gosling. Fall Guy was good. Whatever you're watching. But it was good. It's about like a stuntman, him. And he essentially, he gets like roped into a situation where he ends up, like, people end up thinking he's the actual bad guy, and so he's like being hunted down. He's like, whoa. I didn't do it, guys. It's really good. I think it's either on Netflix or was on Netflix, and I would recommend it. Next, I watched Officer Black Belt. That's a Korean movie. I watched it because I liked the lead actor, but it was like nothing crazy, honestly. He's just good at fighting. He's a cop, in my opinion. Next, I watched The Perfect Couple, which I didn't realize was adapted off an Ellen Hildebrand book, but I really enjoyed the show. It's essentially a murder mystery. Like, the bride's best friend dies, and you're just trying to figure out who did it. And the whole family, it's like friends, they're so fucked up. And it was crazy, because every time you think you know who did it, you're not actually sure if you're right. But I think at the end, I did actually guess correctly, and I was very proud of myself for that, because usually I'm the person who misses a lot of stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm wrong. No, I was right that time. Next, I watched Popstar Academy, which is like how they formed Cat's Eye, which I love Cat's Eye. I want to go see them in person. That was just like a reality show, but that was so good. I think I watched the first, I think there were 8 episodes, and I watched like 6 out of 8 on the first day. I was just laying there watching. I loved it so much. It was so interesting to see. So, would recommend. Then another Free Will movie was How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. This was like partially Free Will because I heard on, I think it was either TikTok or Twitter, that it was really good, and so I thought, oh, let me go see it. Guys, I sobbed. I sobbed so bad in that theater, and it was just like me and one other guy. So I wonder if he was sobbing. He probably was, like, teary-eyed at least. But it's about, like, this guy. He essentially takes care of his grandma because he's like, oh, I want her money when she dies. He even puts her house up for sale. Like, he's doing a lot of things, and at first you hate him, but then later him and his grandma like actually form a relationship, and he like realizes like, oh, I've been such a dick. And then when she dies, it's like actually so awful. And like, I can't watch, I mean I can, but it really like hits me harder when I watch shows where like grandmas die, and if they look like my grandma, it's like so over, because then I just get really sad. But it was a really good movie. I highly recommend y'all watch this. And I just want to say this, I want to take this opportunity to say, if you have a fear of subtitles, if you don't like subtitles, like, grow up. Grow up. Like, seriously, you're missing so many movies because you don't like subtitles. Anyways, that's just a really strong opinion I have. Then next I watched Love Boat in Taipei, which is adapted off a book which I read. I enjoyed the book more than the movie. The movie felt so bland to me. I think I just like, I didn't like the movie. I didn't really care for any of the actors that were in it. It was just overall like not my favorite. I just finished it like out of respect to the book. I didn't really like it. The book was definitely better. Like the series, definitely better. Next I watched I'm Still, which was like the Jungkook documentary movie. I loved it. They also gave me free photo cards. Once again, love a documentary movie, love a concert movie. It was good. It was really good. Then I watched Tomodachi Game, which is an anime, and normally I don't like watching animes that don't have a closed ending, because this one is still continuing, so I remember it was really good. It's a bunch of really fucked up games though. Like really, really messed up games. And when they released the new season, which they might have already done, considering it's 2025 now, but I don't remember enough about what I watched before that I'm gonna go back and like continue watching it. Which kind of sucks, but that's kind of my gripe with like unfinished animes. So I would recommend you watch it though, it is good. Then next I watched Owning Manhattan, which is that reality TV show about like real estate. It's like the Sirhan real estate agency in New York. It's so good. It's so good. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did, but Ryan is so funny actually. And I kind of adore, I think it was Chloe. She's so badass. There was like one scene where her and this other guy were fighting to become like the agent on the listing for Jardine, which is like a really high profile property, and the guy thought he had it in the bag. And I remember I was walking on the treadmill watching this, and I thought, this man is so annoying. Like, he thinks he's just got it. And she showed him up, and it was beautiful. It was so satisfying. I was so happy watching that. It was good. I think they were supposed to come out season 2, and I thought it was coming out this summer, and I haven't seen it. So I might go check that after I'm done filming this, honestly. And the last thing I watched was Malyari, which is a Filipino movie. It stars Piolo Pascual, who's like a huge hotshot movie star. He's really good. This scared the living shit out of me. I think I finished the movie, but like at least half the movie I was watching between my fingers. It was incredibly terrifying for me. Don't know why. There were just a lot of like ghost things, and yeah, I think either his family was cursed and so he was trying to break that curse, or like the house was cursed because it was like an ancestral home. It was really, really good. I don't remember a lot of it, but I was also just like terrified for half the time, so I definitely would recommend it. It's so good. My book for September, we got back on the grind. Book for September was The Love of My Afterlife. I don't remember too much about it. I do remember it was British, like set in England. The woman dies in some like crazy way. I think she chokes on a hamburger. She lives alone, so she dies, and her like the guardian is like, feels bad that she like never fell in love, and like apparently a guy gets sent up there and she manages to fall in love with him in like 2 minutes. And so her angel was like, okay, this guy was here by accident, so they sent him back. And she was like, if you can find this guy in real life in like, I think she had like 7 days, you can stay alive and be with him, right? And yeah, so she gets sent back to life to find this guy. And of course her neighbor helps her, and of course she falls in love with her neighbor, and of course there's some loophole that she's able to stay there and be in love with her neighbor. Of course, it happens every time. But this one was actually really well done. I enjoyed it a lot. I think it was a book I borrowed from the library, so I wouldn't necessarily reread it again, but if it was something I owned, I probably would. I'm gonna move to October, once again. A fat chunk of movies. Starting off with The Wild Robot. Man, this was a kid's movie, but did it make me cry. So basically, it's about like this robot. I think he gets either into a crash with like other robots. I think they were transporting them somewhere, and then the transport just crashed, and he survived, and he ends up like making a life for himself in the wilderness. And at first the animals are all like super wary of him because he's a robot, but then he befriends this like fox, and they eventually just like start becoming like within the community, like friends with everyone. And I think the people who made the robot found out that it was there, and so they were going to try and take him back, and then they were like going to destroy the forest. And it was such a good movie. But there was one scene in particular where I think the robot was going to leave because he didn't want to like risk everyone's lives, and the fox was like, well, like if you leave, like who am I going to like tell myself to? Oh, why am I like tearing up? It's like literally 8 a.m. It was such a good movie, and I just like that line resonated with me, and it made me think of like two people. I was like, dang, I'm crying in this theater. But I did watch it alone, so it was like fine. Like I didn't have my friends being like, damn, you crying over a kid's movie? Please. Okay. But next I watched Young Creature Season 2, which if you remember, I watched the first season in January. This one was set in more modern times, and it felt like honestly a stretch, but it was still really good. Acting was great, fight scenes were great. It was just weird because the female lead was supposed to have died in season 1, so it's very interesting. No, not the female lead, the male lead. It's interesting to show like how he stayed alive and the same age for like 80 plus years. Also the female lead. They both just like didn't age. But it like the reasoning makes sense. But, like it's a stretch. You gotta stretch a little bit. Next I watched Joker movie, the one with Lady Gaga. Did not love it, like, at all. I'm sorry, Lady Gaga, she sang really well. I'll admit that. Didn't love the movie. It was so, like, confusing and weird, and I just didn't like it at all. Yeah, I just didn't like it. Next was a K-drama called Love Next Door. I was highly anticipating this K-drama because I also like both of the main actors, and it was so good. So it's about this girl, she was like working in tech, super accomplished, great, everything, and then she comes back to Korea and nobody knows why. And the male lead is like an architect, also super accomplished in his own right, and they're kind of like childhood rivals, like their moms are friends, but they kind of just like stand each other, you know. They just like what's the word? They just care about each other enough that like they don't hate each other, but they eventually end up together, and it's just cute how they fall in love. And, I love it, but it's also like it has its like heart-wrenching moments because then you find out the female lead had like stomach cancer and she almost died from like stress and overworking herself for that tech job, and I was like, oh, like crazy. Actually, at one point I was gonna follow her like fun employment schedule. That's not what it was called there, but she was also unemployed for a hot minute, and I felt so seen. Next thing I watched was like a mini K-drama called Spice Up Our Love. It was a spin-off, a literally 2-episode spin-off off of another K-drama that was really popular. I did not watch that K-drama, but I watched this, and honestly you could watch it as a standalone because it's like, you need some background information, but it's nothing you can't learn from watching this. So basically it's, I think it's a manga author, and she gets, or it's manhwa I guess, but she gets thrown into her own like book, which is like every fanfiction author's dream apparently, but it's really good. It's really funny, and it's like super simple and cute for 2 episodes. Next I watched The Policeman's Lineage. That was a Korean movie. Nothing crazy. I can't remember most of it. I just remember his dad was like also a policeman, so it was either about him like trying to make his own mark, follow in his footsteps, something like that. Don't remember a thing. Next was Smile 2. Scared the crap out of me. I honestly don't even remember if I watched Smile, like the first Smile, but this one was so creepy. Like the Smile, oh, it got to a point, but it was so creepy. And then the ending when she like bashed her head in with the microphone, ooh. Next we watched We Live in Time, which is that Florence Pugh Andrew Garfield movie. So sad. so sad at the end, but it was like beautiful. I loved it. But like my favorite part was when Florence Pugh was like talking about how she like will be remembered as a mother, and but that's like not the only thing she wants to be remembered as. She wants to also be remembered for like her career, her achievements, and I was like, that is so true, so true, so true. So I feel like so often when women become mothers, that's just like their only title, and that's honestly something I am afraid of, because it's like we're still people. We still have like goals and dreams and aspirations and like achievements that also should be recognized apart from that mother title. But yeah, also she did mother so hard in this movie, so it was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I cried. I knew I was gonna cry when I watched the trailer, and I did. She's also terminally ill. That's like another part of it. That's why I cried. But yeah. Then next I watched Hassan Minaj's newest comedy special. Honestly, you probably don't even know if it's the newest one, but it was the most recent one at the time. It was called Off With His Head. It was really good, really funny. Of course, everything he puts out is like great. It's gold. I love it. Last thing I watched for October was Yellow Jacket Season 1. That was actually not my choice. I was with friends and they decided, oh, let's watch it, because we were trying to stay up the whole night before our flight. And we watched it. We watched like one episode and then everyone actually fell asleep. But I continued watching it, and then I only got to watch Season 1 because I didn't have Stars, and Season 1 was the only season available on Netflix, and I think they just put 2. So I may watch 2, but Season 1 is feeling a bit fuzzy to me. But it's basically about like a soccer team that's like on their way to states or nationals or something, and their plane crashes and they essentially have to like fend for themselves in the woods, and it goes back and forth between the past POV where they're fending for themselves in the woods and the future, or the present, where like they're all adults now, but this past is like coming back to haunt them. It's pretty good. I do love Yellow Jackets. It was really good. And then for my book for October was nothing, because probably once again I was going through it. Let me just tell y'all, the last like 4 months of the year, or like, yeah, the last 4 months of the year were really, really, really bad times. We had some periods of bad times there where I was just like not in the mood. Moving on to November, guys, I'm almost done with the year. Holy shit. But anyway, to November, I watched Money Heist Season 1 and 2, the regular like Spanish version, because there's also a Korean version. Funny thing is, Money Heist I started, never finished, and then for some reason in November of 2024 I decided to let me finish it, let me lock in and work, and I finished it, and it was really good. Seasons 1 and 2 all deal with the first heist, and in my opinion, because I haven't finished all 5 seasons, I think I got stuck on 4, but in my opinion the first heist was the best, and I truly think they should have ended it there. But yeah. Then I watched Migration, another kids movie that was just like silly goofy. I made my boyfriend watch it with me because, yeah, it was about like, they're not geese, but they were birds, and it was like funny. I enjoyed it. Would not rewatch it. I mean, I would, but it would be like to make a point, to be like, let's rewatch it, just to like be silly. But I wouldn't actually like care to really rewatch it for the plot. But it was fun. It was fun. Then I watched Your Name, which is like, it's an anime movie. I think it's pretty popular. The soundtrack is gorgeous, so gorgeous, and I think I was like, this was like the first romance-y anime that I actually truly enjoyed, but I also really liked it because the plot, you find out like midway through the movie that the girl, the female lead, actually died in this huge like meteor crash, and so somehow both of them are able to go back in time, but they're not like together, they're like in separate timelines, but they're able to go back in time and like work together to stop, no, maybe they are in the same like world, I don't remember, but they went back in time and they were able to stop the meteor from crashing, so the girl lives, and then they find each other later in the future. It was like, oh, so cute. Like, I would rewatch it. It's beautiful, and just the animation is gorgeous, the soundtrack is gorgeous, the plot line is beautiful. Love it. The next I watched Unhappy for You, and I truly don't remember anything about it. The next I watched Mr. Plankton, which is a K-drama. I watched it because I love the male lead. I saw him originally in Bloodhounds, and I was just, no, not Bloodhounds, it was The King, because he was playing like 2 roles there, and they were just like 2 opposite sides of the coin, so I thought he was like so good and so funny. Mr. Plankton absolutely wrecked me because he also is terminally ill. What is it about like watching so many things where characters are terminally ill, but he's like terminally ill, and he's just kind of accepted it, but then he meets this girl that he was like super in love with, but I think they just, either they broke up because he found out he was terminally ill, or like they just broke up for reasons. I can't even remember what it was, but it wasn't like he cheated or she cheated or anything bad like that. But then he finds out she's about to get married, and yeah, I don't remember too many of the details, but this was definitely a really, really good one. Like, you're just gonna have to trust me. It was so good. I remember I would like wait every weekend to have an episode of this, so I would recommend. And then last for November, I watched Moana 2. Now, I'm not the biggest Moana fan, but my friends wanted to watch, and so I was like, okay, of course, I'm like, game, let's go. It was okay. I didn't like particularly love any part of it. Sorry. I don't rock with Moana like that, but it was good. It was good. Okay, moving on to my book for November. I read The Last Blood Carver. I don't remember much about it, if I'm being honest. It was a good book at the time, but I do remember there was a sequel that was going to be released, and then I forgot that the sequel released, and then I just forgot everything about the first book. So I would recommend you read it. I remember the first book being good. You're just going to have to read the plot summary because I don't remember a damn thing about it. But you should definitely read this and then read the sequel, because I remember I was so hooked for the sequel, and I just unfortunately forgot it happened. So, okay, moving on to December, last month of the year, slay. We watched Black Widow. Okay, it was the Black Widow movie. I thought that was a trick. It was the Black Widow movie. I didn't even know there was a Black Widow movie, if I'm being honest. But I think that's where she like finds Yelena. And yeah, like it was good. I really enjoyed it actually. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. The next I watched Vigilante, which it's a K-drama, and the funny thing is about Vigilante is like the main lead is Nam Joo-hyuk, and he's like top 5 all-time favorite K-drama actor, like male actors for me. And he was going off to the military, and this was his last project. So I told myself, oh, I'm gonna like really wait to watch it because there's nothing else coming out from him. And I waited so long that he actually left, like was done with military service, and I still hadn't watched it. And it took me so long to watch it, not because it was bad, but because my attention span was just shot. But it was really good. It's basically like he's in a police academy, but he also like moonlights as like a vigilante, and so he like takes justice into his own hands. So he'll like watch the news if there's anybody that was like he feels unreleased or released unfairly from prison, or like just didn't get the punishment they deserved. He would just do it. Yeah, it was a good K-drama. Not that I'm promoting vigilantism or anything, but it was a really good K-drama. Highly recommend. Next I watched Speak No Evil, which is the James McAvoy movie. Crazy. I loved it. The twist of how actually none of his kids were his, or like his kid was not his kid. He's just been stealing kids from other families and killing their families and then cutting out their tongue so they can't tell people that like that's not my family, that's not my parents. Crazy. It was so good. Also, again, one of those that I was kind of like watching through my fingers, but like it was good. I think at one point I was yelling at the TV because I was like, don't do that. It was good. Then I watched Money Heist Season 3. That's when they started the new heist, but at this point it was still kind of like making sense. I think honestly the reason I stopped watching Season 4 was because it was starting to be like they were dragging it out. Yeah. And then I watched Insidious: The Red Door. Now, I haven't really watched any of the Insidious movies, so there were definitely things I missed watching this one, but it was okay. It was a good like horror movie, decently scary, but nothing that I would like go back to. Then I watched Carry On, which is that Taron Egerton Netflix movie that just popped up randomly one day, and I thought to myself, this is gonna suck. But it was actually so good. It's about a TSA agent. He essentially is being controlled by, oh my god, I forgot the guy's name, but I see him all the time. He was the guy from Ozark. But he wanted to do something bad. I think he wanted to like bomb a plane or like gas a plane, something like that. But like he's essentially controlling Taron Egerton's character, and he can see him, so he literally can't do anything, and it's really crazy. And I always think about like when I watch these movies, I'm like, well, aren't you guys giving like the bad people in this world ideas? I don't know. That's just me. Then I watched It Ends With Us, which I am not a Colleen Hoover fan. I've never read her books. my mom wanted to watch this. She doesn't know any of like the tea, and so I was like, okay. So we watched it. Not great, not the best. And then I told her the tea, and she was like, oh, well. So then I watched the following. Oh, I always have trouble remembering this movie, but it's a Korean movie, and so it's the girl from one of the earlier shows I mentioned, Welcome to Sundari. She is like an influencer, and there's this guy, he's a real estate agent, he becomes crazy obsessed with her. He's like following her, stalking her, like it's crazy, and you don't know it until later, but she knows he's doing this. So she goes to him under the guise of like wanting to sell her apartment, and she knows he's going to be creepy and stalk and go in there when she's not in there. And so one time that he ends up going in there, he finds her dead on the couch, and he's like freaking out because he knows his DNA is all over the damn place. And it's basically like it's like a psychological thriller thing, like she is throwing him for a loop because she's like, fuck you, why are you stalking me? So it was good, but like I kind of feel bad for it. Like it's bad because I shouldn't feel bad for him because he is a creep, he's a stalker. It's not like there are really any good people in this movie, but he is like going crazy. This man is going crazy. It's really good. I highly recommend it. The last thing I watched in December, and honestly the whole year, was Subservience. And it's really funny because I was home for the holidays and my brother was like, oh, we should watch the top 5, or was it my brother or my mom? But one of them was like, we should watch the top 5 like Netflix movies right now. And Subservience was I think like 4 or 5, and it was I think the only one we hadn't watched. It's the Megan Fox movie where she's like an AI robot. Honestly, didn't love it. It was okay. It was okay. It was definitely like I watched the whole movie. I was able to make it through. I thought it was like good, but I wouldn't watch it again. And I think there's going to be a sequel, but I don't know if I'm going to remember enough to even like contribute to the sequel. So, okay, last book of the year. I read The Wedding People, which was also delivered to me like via Instagram ad. I was like, ooh, that's such a cool cover. So I read it, and it's about this woman. She's like very unfulfilled in her life. Her marriage crumbled. Her husband, I think, had an affair with like a coworker, another professor at their school. Her cat died. She's like, oh my god, my life is going to shit. So she goes to this hotel at a beach that like it's a hotel she's always wanted to go to, and she was like, I'm not waiting for anyone anymore, I'm gonna go. And she like books out the penthouse suite or something, like it's the top floor, and she's like, I'm gonna kill myself. Yeah, but what she doesn't know is like the rest of the hotel is also booked out for a wedding, and the bride like finds her and finds out that she's gonna kill herself, and the bride's like, well, it's my wedding week, you can't kill yourself. And somehow she gets like integrated into the wedding party, and it's really, really good. I really enjoyed that book. It was so good. It was just like amazing, honestly, and I would totally recommend it. Like easy a 4.5 out of 5 for me. So it was really good. A really great way for me to end off my year. So yeah, that was everything that I watched or read in 2024, and I seriously need to get better. Like when I do my 2025 one, I seriously need to lock in and like do it the day 2025 ends or something, because I refuse to have a repeat of this. Second time's the charm. I'm really happy with the way this one came out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you were intrigued by at least one of these books, shows, movies, and that you watch it. And if you watch any of these or have watched them, please leave a comment down below. I love discussing. Like one of my favorite joys in life is to like find the Reddit for like each episode of a K-drama where they just discuss, and I love reading it. It's so fun to me, and I'd love to have that in my comments. So if you end up watching it, leave a comment down below. I would love to talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just a yapper at heart, so I feel like this is going to be really fun for me, and hopefully for you guys. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my new video soon. I'm gonna stop saying next week, but soon.